Hello everyone, and today I'm going to be showing you how to build custom trees as simple as possible. And basically we're just going to start by randomly placing some blocks around, trying to keep everything looking organic, while still maintaining some artistic flair to it. I'm mainly going to be using brown painted rich mahogany living wood, some regular living wood, and I'm going to scatter in some different fences and platforms, and I'll talk you through that along the way. Alright, and there we have a base for our tree. So it's just randomly placed, and now I'm going to add some depth using two different kinds of brown painted stone walls. I'm going to be using craggy stone wall and worn stone wall. And even though these are stone walls, they do work very well to add a wooden texture, therefore adding more depth and increasing the main body of the build. You can easily use different kinds of walls. I'm also going to be using some different kinds, but at the moment I'm mainly going to be using these two to build out the trunk of the tree. Now that I've added in a few of those, I'm going to be going in with some platforms. I'm going to be using blue dungeon brick, platforms painted brown, and spooky wood platforms, and then mixing in some different kinds of fences and other walls to help add more depth to the overall build. Now I do want to be able to walk through this so that it's a bit more, less destructive when you're trying to run through it. So I'm going to be actuating these to push that into the background so that the player and other NPCs can walk through it. And that is quite simply done just like that. And also you see that waterfall down there? Ignore that, that's for another build. Now to help this not look so, bad, I am going to be removing some of these other bits of wood and adding in some more walls and also some fences, just to give it more of an organic feel. After all, that is the main intention of this build, is to make an organic looking custom tree. Now that I've added in some other bits and bobs towards the bottom, I'm going to start working on building some more branches spiraling off from the main trunk. And I'm going to be doing this with more rich mahogany and standard living wood. And that is a good point to stop there, and now I'm probably going to start adding in some foliage around this to actually make it look like a tree and not just a giant dead log. So for that I'm going to be using living rich mahogany leaf blocks and also standard living leaf blocks, and I'm just going to scatter these all around until I find something that looks nice. For this I'm going to be going for a more wavy style tree instead of a more natural bushy tree. But it's completely up to you how you place these, and it's quite simple. Once I've placed in all of those blocks, I'm going to go in with some living leaf wall just to round out some of the edges. This can be a little bit jarring because it does, have a different color to the main leaf blocks, so you can actuate the leaf blocks if you'd like to help it blend in better, but for this, I'm just going to go with it, and I'm going to add in some of my standard leaf blocks painted deep lime, and that's just going to help add some more variation to the actual build. I'm going to hammer a few of these as well, just to give it a bit more of a natural and organic texture. And there we go. I think that's quite nice. So another little detail that you can add around this is to add some brown painted and lime painted living leaf blocks. This shows some fallen dead leaves that have gathered on the ground, and this will be perfect for a more autumn build. For me, I'm just doing this to add a little bit more story into the build. You don't have to do this, but I think it looks really nice. Now that I've kind of stepped away from the main tree build, I can see some parts that I'm not exactly happy with. So I'm going to go back in and add in some more little bits of living leaf blocks and living leaf walls, just to fill out a bit more of the empty space. And it's a great idea to do this, just to take a step back, look at the build from a different angle, and then try it again. So in this case, I'm also adding in some of the stone walls that I used in the trunk and the main tree, and I'm actually going to be using them to add some more texture and variation to the main tree. I was going to add in another branch here because I felt it looked a little bit too empty, and there we go. I'm really happy with this. And here's a little bonus tip for you. So for this one, I'm just going to be building a little dock where this waterfall is. Like I said earlier, Ignore the waterfall. Keep your eyes open for an upcoming video though. It's going to be quite a cool one. And I'm just going to go in with some bamboo, well, some large bamboo, and I'm just going to build this up to create a platform. Then I'm just going to go across, and I'm going to probably actuate all of it. And there we go. The waterfall is kind of going a little bit crazy, so... Oh, no, never mind. It's all good. So now I'm just going to be adding in some more little details, and this is a great way that I can also show you a really cool technique where you can make an archway. So I'm going to grab some honey platforms, some boreal wood platforms, and also some granite platforms. So it goes honey, granite, boreal, and then I'm going to grab some brass shelf. I'm just going to grab one of them and place that right there. And there you go, it creates an arch. I'm also going to actuate the honey blocks because they are quite bright. And there is a lovely little arch. Alright, I think this could use a little bit more light, so I'm going to build a lamppost. So I'm going to grab some rich mahogany fence painted brown, then I'm going to grab some ebonwood fence painted brown as well. Let me just grab that, there we go. And then let me put that up. Actually no, I'm going to build that one more down. Then there we go, so I'm just going to build up a small amount of a sort of pillar. Then I'm going to go in with some shelves or some platforms. Let me see how that looks. No, actually, I'm going to go on my brass shelf there. Okay, that looks nice. And then I'm going to actuate the honey one because it's quite bright and it kind of stands out. And then I'm going to go in with some... Let's go with some stone bricks right there. And then I'm going to grab some regular stone there and there. And I'm going to hammer them down. Unlike some of my other lampposts, we're actually going to have a lamp in this one. And for some more decoration just around where the trees are, I built another tree. I'm not as happy with this one, so I'm probably not going to do a tutorial on that one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around and I'm going to add in some different mushrooms painted with red paint to give those caps a nice red shine. And it's one of my favorite things to do. I made a short about this. You can check that out. It's somewhere on my channel. And there we go. The finishing touches. Boom. And that looks lovely. If you want any more tutorials, comment down below and I'll see if I can get to it. Have a great day.